evening. It is Thursday, October 24th at 6 p.m. We are at the District Service Center in Cottage Grove, Minnesota. We would like to acknowledge that the land on which we gather is the land of the Mdewakanton Dakota people. Mdewakanton means dweller of the Spirit Lake. The first item on our agenda is 1.0 roll call. Dana?
Brian Clark. Here. Sharon Van Leer. Here. Eric Tessmer. Here. Pat Driscoll is absent. Melinda Doles. Here. Simi Petnaik. Here. Katie Schwartz.
Here. Next is 2.0 Pledge of Allegiance. Please stand.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, 3.0 is approval of our agenda. Can I get a motion to approve an amended agenda, adding 7.5 easements with the City of Cottage Grove?
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Sharon, seconded by Eric. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes. Comments to the board? We do not have any this evening. Consent items. All consent items are considered routine and non-controversial by the school board and will be approved by a single motion. There will be no separate discussion of these items. Prior to this meeting, board members did have the opportunity to review each of these items and may have requested that an item be moved to an action item for individual consideration. That did not happen this evening, so can I get a motion to approve?
So moved. Second.
Motion by Melinda, seconded by Simi. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes. Now we will move on to 6.0 information items, and we do have one of those this evening. 6.1 construction update, and that will be presented by Tyrone Brookins, Assistant Superintendent.
Grace and peace. Chair Schwartz, school board members, and Superintendent Nielsen. This evening I am providing an update on our construction projects. On the screen, you will see the comprehensive schedule for all 15 projects, and I will bring your attention to the top 7. And those projects are our 4 middle schools and our 3 comprehensive high schools. We are within the design and planning stages for all 7 projects, and we're looking to shift into construction, I would say mid-winter, early spring with that. And then for the bottom 8 projects, we will get into the design phase in early winter. So as we look at our current projects, those 7 sites are all in design phases where we're meeting with user groups, having specific user group meetings for specific departments. We are also making sure that we stay within the master schedule and adhering to the parameters that were set out when we went out to the public. And we're also working to make sure that the budget remains intact and we stay within those budget parameters for each project. Additionally, we're also meeting with the cities of Cottage Grove and Woodbury. Those meetings are taking place every 2 weeks for each city. What's coming out of those meetings is we are working with the city of Woodbury right now to send letters to residents in Woodbury for Woodbury Middle School and also East Ridge High School. And those letters are going to residents who live within 500 feet of the school property line, letting them know about the scope of the project and also the schedule of the project. And we're working with the city on both the, for both of those sites, we're working with the city for those letters. It's a standard procedure that the city has asked for, and we are cooperating and working with them to do that. You will see coming in the next few meetings, the bids are going out. This fall for high schools, East Ridge and Park, you will see bids in the consent agenda. And then for the middle school of Oakland and Woodbury, you will receive bids in the consent agenda. As we go into the winter phases, you'll see bids coming in for Woodbury High School and then Cottage Grove and Lake Middle Schools. There is an update with our project that is moving ahead of schedule, and that is the bus road that is part of the Woodbury Middle School project. It is actually going to start the summer of 2025, and as that road goes in, we are also working to put a fence in place along the playground, east side of the playground for Woodbury Elementary School to make sure that our students are safe and our staff are safe as that road goes in. Our next steps, we plan to bring our architects to present an update on our high school design concepts. That will take place on December 12th. And then in January, we will begin the planning phase for those 8 other projects which are focused on elementary. And as always, updates and information can be found on our website at SoWashCo.org/construction.
Thank you, Tyrone. Does anybody have any questions?
I had one. So Tyrone, you said that the letters go out to people living within 500 feet of each of the projects. What is the, I mean, I guess what is the purpose of the letter? I mean, if people have objections, like what, or, you know, what is it, what is the letter, what is the intent of the letter?
The letter is more so to inform the residents
Okay.
that this is taking place.
Okay,
It's
so
not an
then there's
opportunity
no
for
like,
feedback.
yeah, it's not like they can come back and be like, I mean,
We
I
don't
guess.
want this, no.
Yeah, it's too late now, right? Okay,
Right.
thanks.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, we will move on to 7.0 action items. We do have a few this evening. The first one is 7.1, the MSHSL grants, and that will be presented by Christine Schaefer, Assistant Superintendent.
Good evening, School Board Chair Schwartz, School Board members, and Superintendent Nielsen. Tonight, I'd like to seek approval of the resolution for application to the Minnesota State High School League Foundation. The request tonight is for Parts A and B of the Minnesota State High School League grant. This is a grant that we've applied for each year and have received from the High School League. Part A of the grant is awarded to school districts to assist and promote extracurricular participation by high school students in athletics and fine arts. Schools receive funds based on the number of students participating in activities that qualify for free and reduced lunch. Our activities directors use these funds to buy equipment, uniforms, and pay fees for students in need. So that's Part A. Part B of this grant is used for funds for activities directors to work with student captains and student leaders for fine arts, activities, and athletics. Park, Woodbury, and Eastridge have requested grants in the Category B application for student leadership training. The funds will be used to continue the high school's leadership development program, which includes bringing in speakers to talk with students about being student leaders and having book studies on leadership skills. The student leadership groups meet monthly. As part of the application, the High School League requires a Board of Directors resolution requesting funds from the High School League Foundation. So at this time, I'd like to seek approval of the resolution to request funds from the Minnesota State High School League Foundation grant.
Thank you, Christine. Can I get a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Sharon, seconded by Simi. Any questions or comments?
I do have a question, Christine.
Yep.
Sorry, what's the amount of the grant?
I knew someone was going to ask that. I should have said it. The Part B which is the one for leadership, that's about $5,000 for all 3 schools. And Part A, which is based on students and free reduced lunch, ranges from about $1,500 up to $4,600, depending upon the number of students.
Do you know how the grant is funded?
You mean from the high school league?
Yeah, from the high school
How
league?
they get the funds?
Correct.
I'm not sure how they get the funds.
Okay, just curious.
Yeah.
Any other questions? Okay, seeing none, since this is a resolution, Dana, can you call the roll, or call the vote?
Ryan Clark,
Approve.
Sharon Van Leer,
Yes.
Eric Tessmer,
Yes.
Melinda Doles,
Yes.
Sydney Petnaik,
Yes.
Katie Schwartz.
Yes. Thank you. Okay, 7.2 is our proposed policy changes, and that will be presented by Julie Nielsen, Superintendent.
Good evening, and thank you. This evening, I am bringing forth for approval 5 policies that we shared with the board at our workshop meeting. This evening, 510.1, athletic and activity participation. What you will have seen and what we discussed is, as far as that policy, changes to participation and guidelines. 522, Title IX, sex non-discrimination. Basically, right now, that policy was rewritten and is in alignment with the current regulations for Title IX. And then policies 801.1, 801.2, and 801.3, all dealing with facilities and/or site acquisition. We are recommending deleting, as there is no model policy and no reason that we need to continue to have those in our policy manual. So this evening, I am asking for approval on those 5 policies.
Can I get a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second. Motion by Simi, seconded by Melinda. Any comments? Okay, seeing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion passes. Okay, on to 7.3, and that's health insurance, and that's presented by Chris Blackburn, Director of Business Services.
Good evening, Chair Schwartz, school board members, Superintendent Nielsen. Tonight we're here to talk health insurance. So per Minnesota statute 471-6161, public employers, must market their medical insurance every 2 years. South Washington County Schools was required to market this benefit for January 1st, 2025. The district released the request for proposal to Blue Cross Blue Shield of Minnesota, Health Partners, Medica, Minnesota Public Employee Insurance Program, otherwise known as PEEP, and United Healthcare. In addition, district administration also evaluated the possibility of moving to a self-funded platform for 2025. Based on the analytics and expected rate projections compared to fully insured premiums, it was determined that staying fully insured was the more fiscally prudent approach for 2025. District administration will evaluate again during the next market cycle. After review of the financial impact of the proposals, healthcare cost containment efforts, value-added benefits, network and pharmacy access, and disruption, along with overall premium cost savings, district administration and the benefit committee is recommending the district enter into a 2-year fully insured contract with Health Partners beginning January 1st, 2025 and ending December 31st, 2026. Administration recommends acceptance of the Health Partners proposal and entering into a 2-year agreement with Health Partners.
Can I get a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Simi, seconded by Eric. Any comments or questions?
Chris, what is the, and I don't need the exact numbers, but what is kind of like the threshold where we would, or the tipping point between where
Fully
we are
insured.
and self-insured?
Yep, and so what we see is really high utilization amongst our participants. And so I think as we look forward, that's really the driver for that, is because until we can offer premiums that are affordable to our employees and then are effective that way, that we can maintain enough dollars to pay out those claims. And like I said, right now with the high utilization, it just wouldn't make sense at this time. So I don't know that we have a specific number, but we're well over 100, depending on any given month, 150, 125, but most plans are well over 100 routinely. And so absent that, then I think once we would get under that, I think, or near or that, it might make more sense.
Okay, and then if we did move to like a self-insured option at some point in the future, is there anything preventing us from moving back to a fully insured option? Like, do the health insurance companies have some sort of,
Disincentive?
disincentive to do that?
No, not that I'm aware of. I know that they're across the state, right? We've seen some different movements because we've seen some self-insured plans that had significant increases in their premiums as well. And some of them have, I think, opted to look at some other, to go back into fully insured. And so I think that's always something that we should keep in mind, and there's no penalty for us to do either way.
Any other questions?
What did we have Health Partners before?
Yeah,
That's who
and so
we've
this will
been
be
with?
a continuation of our partnership with them. Once again, I know a number of years ago we had preferred one. We've had Health Partners more predominantly in the years that I've been here. So, but yes,
So
most
is
recently.
the coverage compared to the Blue Cross or whatever the other ones are, is it comparable then?
Right,
What
and
they
so-
cover?
Yep, we offer a couple of different plans. So there's an open access plan. So like I live, and many of you know that I commute a ways. And so up by me, there's not a lot of Health Partners clinics. It's more Alina-based particularly. And so for me, the open access plan makes more sense. It just provides that more variety in choices and options. Whereas the Health Partners Achieve plan that we also offer has a more selected group. And anytime that we consider vendors, we do look at to see in our population of participants where, like, would we lose any availability for people to see whether it's a regular doctor or specialist and things. So we certainly want to have people maintain that regular health care as well with their provider of choice. And so we try to provide some options. Some may be a little affordable than others. You know, back in the days, I remember PPOs and HMOs and, you know, where it gets a little scoped down that way. And so that's the Achieve, just offers a slightly narrower network. But again, in this community, with Health Partners being primary with a number of clinics in the area from where we often see our employees come from, that makes sense. So.
Thank you.
Okay. Any other questions? Okay, seeing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes. Thank you, Chris. And now we're on to 7.4, and that is the board government plan, I cannot talk today, board governance plan that will be presented by myself. At our last board meeting on October 10th, we did review and update our board governance plan. You can see all the changes. We did take out a few items. Nothing was added in, but we did take out a few things. And that is attached to the packet for your review. So can I get a motion to approve the updated plan?
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Sharon, seconded by Simi. Any questions or comments? Okay, seeing none, can I get a motion to approve?
We have a motion. We just need to
Or,
vote.
I'm sorry, all those in favor? It's been a really long week.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, motion passes. Okay, on to our last item here, 7.5, easements with the City of Cottage Grove, and that will be presented by Chris Blackburn, Director of Business Services.
Good evening again. So this may seem very similar, and I'll read through it, but it was approved at the board last business meeting in September, and subsequent to that, the city did come back and ask us to revise, and really it replaces the legal description to move two permanent easements into just one singular easement of record. So on September 26, 2024, the school board approved amendments to two existing permanent easement agreements between SoWashCo County Schools and the City of Cottage Grove to accommodate the construction of the new addition at Oltman Middle School. The existing permanent easements were originally recorded as document numbers 4103337 and 4103339 on February 21st, 2017. Subsequently, the City of Cottage Grove requested the two separate easements be combined into one permanent easement agreement for Lot 2, Block 1, New Oltman Middle School instead. As a result, we're requesting approval of the singular permanent easement. The permanent easement was attached, I believe it was sent out to you as well. Administration recommends approval of the permanent easement agreement for the storm sewer between SoWashCo County Schools and the City of Cottage Grove.
Can I get a motion to approve?
So moved. Second.
Motion by Sharon, seconded by Eric. Any comments or questions?
What is the difference between this?
So it really was two separate. So at the time
So
when
it's literally the same thing,
Yep.
just, it's like.
It's a combined legal description.
Accounting, or not
Yep.
accounting, semantic difference.
Correct.
Okay.
Any other questions? Okay, seeing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Chris. On to 8.0, and that is our superintendent report.
I feel like I should really talk a long time or something.
Right? Like, doesn't it seem very fast?
Oh, well, let me start by sharing. It is that fall season where all of our high schools have productions going on. And so for the board and for the community viewing, those productions start, those plays start this Friday with Park High School, A Midsummer's Night Dream, Shakespeare, I hear. And then we move on to Woodbury. Woodbury's will start on November 1st, and then Eastridge will be performing beginning November 8th. And so I think for those of us who have attended, they are absolutely great productions. I happen to be a little bit more into the musicals, the dancing and the singing, than the overall plays. I think Melinda might be as well, but I'll keep it at that. But please, for community people, please participate, grab your ticket. All tickets are available online. Next, November 5th, Election Day, for our staff, that will actually be, and students, it will be a K-12 professional development day, so our staff will be doing READACT training on that day. Our 6 through 12 students will also be having an asynchronous day. So if you have students in grades 6 through 12, they will still be connecting virtually while their secondary teachers are also doing training. And then November 11th, we will have our celebration across the district, and many of our high schools have special celebrations around Veterans Day. And then as I close, I think our school board was made aware, as well as our community. We knew that there was national media attention. Our school community experienced extremely inappropriate and racially harmful behavior by a substitute teacher last week at Woodbury High School. The behavior by the substitute was reprehensible. I want to take just a moment, without saying names, to thank the students who came forward to report this behavior. Their actions were brave and courageous, and I also want to take a moment to thank Sarah Sorensen Wagner, the building principal, to walk down to a classroom and ask a staff member to leave. The building immediately was very courageous and brave as well. We are working with Woodbury High School to create as much time and space as students need to have conversations that will lead to healing, action, and education. Our focus has been on the trauma that students were caused while that substitute was in the classroom. I also want to remind our students that if they see something inappropriate or uncomfortable in the classroom, they have the right to stand up, walk out, and report it to a trusted adult. We are working in partnership right now with the Woodbury Police Department during this investigation. We are also working with the Hudson Police Department as they do an internal investigation on behalf of the Prescott Police Department. The situation has significantly impacted our students, staff, families, and community. It has also damaged the reputation of our teachers and law enforcement officers who serve our community currently. We will continue to work toward restoration and healing. We want our students to know that they matter. What happened on October 14th was deplorable, and our students deserve better in our schools. And so I just want to make an announcement about that so that it's not overlooked and that we condone those behaviors in our school.
Thank you, Julie. On to 9.0, and that is our future meeting dates. November 7th, 2024 is a school board workshop meeting, and that will be here at the District Service Center at 6 p.m. And then on November 21st, 2024 is a school board business meeting, also here at the District Service Center at 6 p.m. And with that, 10.0, we are adjourned.
Is this our shortest meeting ever?
It is.
22 minutes?